As soon as I started to play the first level, I immediately muted the TV because the music in the game is just barf. Most of the music doesn't even sound like it is from the original arcade or Super Nintendo game. That was something that was absent as well because the music in the Super Nintendo game had some of the best tunes for any video game during that time. The sound effects are decent as to what they sound like, but the Super Nintendo game still succeeds that 100 times more. At last, the rust of the nail for this section is the voice acting. Nearly every character you hear is a voice actor that does work for 4Kids Entertainment. 4Kids is notoriously known for them barfing on the Sonic franchise and nearly ruining One Piece because of their overuse of censorship. It's ridiculous. Everything is bad in what you hear, and it will make you want to mute your TV and play in silence. The Ninja Turtles started off as a comic book series in 1984, and they have been around for 25 years, hence this year is the 25th anniversary of the franchise. These heroes in a half-shell have become a huge milestone in pop culture like the Transformers, and they have a huge fan following, especially with the original cartoon series by Fred Wolf Films. Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, Splinter, April O'Neil, Casey Jones, Shredder, Krang, Bebop Rocksteady, and so many others have been implanted into our hearts as memorable characters that we wish to have forever. Aside from the cartoon and comics, there have been video games by Konami and live-action movies that are satisfying, great, or just plain bad. By 2003, the Ninja Turtles have been revived after a 6-year rest, and the franchise was taken into a whole new direction, but more along the lines of the seriousness factor from the comics. Most of the characters were emotional and very subtle from the original cartoon counterparts, and I think that is where most of the fans were turned off because of that. There were also a few video games by Konami that were okay, but the license has been taken away by Ubisoft, and the video game licensed franchise has been a downhill slope from here. Konami needs to get the rights back to save the Ninja Turtles in all of their glory.
That hole is our way home! Let's go!
Oh boy, you want my take on TMNT reshelled with the bad aspects? Then you got it. My number one complaint about the game is the game's controls. They are completely broken. None of the controls are the same as the Super Nintendo game, and it is more stiff this time around. I mean, there are no 4-hit combos, and the super attacks are easily done with the touch of only one button. Even the multiple somersault slashes in the air are not present as you only do one after a double jump. That makes no sense. Issue number 2 of what I have wrong with Reshelled is the fact that the design is horrendous. It does not even look like anything from its original roots. The lighting is terrible, and most of the levels aren't exact replications from the original. The character sprites look very awful as they do not look well in CG. It should have been more cartoonish and not computer-generated imagery since it is a remake that pays homage to the original show and game. Lastly, the music and voice acting in the game are just so bad that it is scary. For music, the themes that have some representation of the original Turtles theme song are absent, as it is more of a tie-in to the 2003 animated show. That is just extremely prejudiced right there. I cannot even believe that. I mean, the awesome soundtrack from the Super Nintendo game should have been present, because I still have those tunes etched into my own heart, and most people agree that those tunes were some of the best music that anyone has ever heard in a video game. And on the voice acting, cut me a break! Why is it that the recent animated show has to make our reptilian heroes sound more subtle and less dynamic in their personalities? 4Kids does not even accept comic relief, as they will stray away from being very funny and positive to being negative to the whole audience. It makes no sense. So, let me try to put it this way, in a simple manner. They basically took everything that you liked about the original Turtles in Time and completely threw it out the window in this horrendous remake. What? You think I have anything good to say about this game? Well, maybe the online modes are enough to enjoy, but that still doesn't say much, does it? With remakes, they have to be pulled off perfectly, or else they're gonna fail. Capcom has been the one to do a tremendous job as they released the first Resident Evil remake on the GameCube and Mega Man Maverick Hunter X on the PSP with positive acclaim. But Ubisoft releasing a remake to one of the best beat-em-ups is a complete flop. They should have put in some more time and effort in making a perfect remake. but I guess since the budget was so low for a digital download, all we get is just this. It's horrible. I do not recommend this to anyone, including the fans. So all in all, my final verdict for this game is that it receives a 4 out of 10. If you want to enjoy the multiplayer, be my guest, but I strongly recommend that you stay away. Turtles in Time reshelled? This game must not be allowed to reproduce, but thank goodness I have SOP to help me out.